The man pulled a stick out of his ear, under everyone's shocked gaze. The stick suddenly grew bigger. The man just gently put the stick down. The solid floor around him instantly cracked apart. Others were shaken by the stick's power and couldn't stand steady. Turns out, this ordinary-looking stick was actually the golden staff Ruyi Jinggu Bang, and the man's true identity was the great sage, equal to heaven, Sun Wukong. The reason the man revealed his identity in front of everyone was because this time he had to save someone worthy of Sun Wukong's help must definitely not be ordinary. That's right, it was none other than Smith, the world's richest man with countless assets. Just not long ago, Smith had fallen ill with an extremely rare disease. Smith's daughter, Angie, in order to save her father, came to the hospital. But here, she unexpectedly ran into the man. As it turned out, the man's younger sister urgently needed $1 million for surgery, but the man couldn't afford the money. Angie and the man were once classmates. Seeing him in trouble, she helped pay for the surgery. But sadly, when the man planned to tell his sister the good news, he found out she had already passed away. Right at that moment, two men in black suddenly came to snatch the man's sister. Turns out his sister's friend Linda had already made a deal with a businessman. If Linda could sell the man's sister's kidney to him, then she would get a reward of $500,000. But unexpectedly, just after the man's sister had died, the businessman sent his men to take her body. During the fight with these two men, the man unexpectedly awakened the memories of his past life and learned that he was actually Sun Wukong. After the man regained his memories, the very first thing he did was revive his sister, hearing the man speak things that made no sense. Linda mocked him for being insane, but the man just slightly used his magic and saw two envoys from hell. They were leading his sister's soul toward hell. Seeing that the man could actually see them, the two envoys were extremely shocked, but when they realized the man was Sun Wukong, they immediately showed great respect to him. The man told them they must let his sister return, otherwise he would make hell pay a heavy price. The two envoys didn't dare refuse Sun Wukong and had no choice but to release his sister's soul. The man saved his sister, but only Angie, who had the gift of second sight, could see it. Linda and the others had no idea what was happening. Other than feeling a sudden chill, they noticed nothing unusual. Linda laughed at the man talking to the air. Even the doctor advised the man to go to a mental hospital for a check. But right at that moment, the man's sister suddenly woke up. Linda couldn't believe what she was seeing. Even the doctor was deeply shocked. It completely shattered everything he knew about medicine. Seeing that the man had such incredible magic, Angie decided to invite him to treat her father. The man agreed in order to repay Angie. Smith understood how serious his condition was. At a family banquet, he announced that as long as someone could cure his illness, that person would inherit his billions in assets. In order to get this fortune, many rich men had prepared rare treasures. Soon, Angie brought the man to the banquet. Angie introduced him to her father. She had seen with her own eyes the man use magic to bring someone back to life, and she believed he could cure her father's illness. But after hearing his daughter's words, Smith thought she was exaggerating too much. Even the others present thought the man had no real ability and that he had tricked Angie somehow. The man didn't bother arguing with these mortals. He simply told them that soon they would witness his true power. Not long after, the wealthy men began offering their treasures. Smith's assistant Jack began inspecting them one by one, but whether it was 100-year-old ginseng or 1,000-year-old lingji, none earned Jack's approval until he saw the last spiritual pill. Jack finally showed a satisfied look. He explained to Smith that this pill wasn't just a cure-all for all diseases, it could even bring new life to someone gravely ill. Even William, who presented the pill, said that this pill was a family heirloom passed down for generations, and he had brought it out only to heal Smith. Seeing that the pill supposedly had such miraculous power, Smith decided to take it. Just then, the man warned Smith that the pill was actually poison. If Smith swallowed it, he would die instantly. But aside from Angie, no one else there believed the man. Everyone accused the man of being rude for daring to curse Smith. Angie quickly urged her father to think twice, but Smith ignored his daughter's warning and insisted on taking the pill. Sure enough, right after swallowing it, he began spitting up blood and collapsed on the couch, no longer breathing. As it turned out, it was all all Jack and William's conspiracy. They used this treasure offering as a chance, planning to poison Smith and seize his fortune. Seeing that Smith was already dead, they immediately forced Angie to hand over the inheritance. In order to survive this crisis, Angie had no choice but to kneel and beg the man for help, to repay Angie's kindness, and to answer those who doubted him. The man publicly drew out the golden staff, Rui Jingu Bang, and revealed his true identity. Suddenly, the sky above the banquet was filled with dark clouds and lightning. Before anyone could figure out what was happening, they saw the envoys of Hell and Satan walk out.